Well, the scoreboard's not showing the win, Chris, but we all know what happened out here today at Bank of America. We all witnessed it. Bro.
The Panthers,
Bro.
The Panthers were 500. Bro. They almost became 6-7.
Hey,
but
don't
they became
start that. Don't you start that.
They became 7-6.
They became 7-6. They became 7-6. They're that 6-7 crap. Get it out of here. They're 7-6. Let's get this sucker started.
Get dialed in, Panthers fans. Here comes an in-depth look at your team. Exclusive interviews.
Locker room insight.
Let's huddle up for Panthers Playbook. Presented by Wake Orthopedics, a Wake Med physician practice. Here are your hosts, Dennis Cox and Chris Lee.
Folks, welcome back to another episode of Panthers Playbook. And that's Chris Lee. Dennis Cox here with you. Panthers Playbook sponsored by Wake Orthopedics. Folks, leave your thoughts in the comment section on this beautiful 31-28 win over the LA Rams, where the Panthers continue to keep pace with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the NFC South. And Chris, we're going to go into December with the Carolina Panthers still playing meaningful football, and it's a wonderful thing to see. And I will say this, Chris, after that win, that's probably the most complete Panthers win we've seen in years. I'm talking complete team win that we have seen in years, where defense had major contributions. Offense was hitting with their run game. Got big plays in the passing game from Bryce Young, especially at key times, 2 fourth-down touchdowns. That's as a complete team win as we've seen in a long, long time.
I told you that it's probably the most complete win that I think I've seen, I want to say, since the Christmas Eve game 2022 versus the Detroit Lions. And that one was just a crazy offensive game. But nobody really talks about how well the defense also played in that game as well against the Lions. And so that's what was needed today. You needed the defense to step up, because if not, that first half could have ended with the Carolina Panthers down 31-10, because the Rams moved the ball pretty much every drive besides the one where they punted at the beginning of the third quarter. Besides that, every drive they got down there and they were close to scoring each and every time. But the defense came away with 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. Shout outs to Derrick Brown.
Yeah.
That first interception, ball comes off of his head, ricochets off his head. Nick Scott gets it, but that was because he's alert. He gets his hands up, jumps up a little bit, so he gets a little bit in the lane of the throw. And then, of course, his pursuit, the pass rush, we've talked about this a lot, has not been very good this year for the Carolina Panthers.
It wasn't very good today.
It wasn't very good today. But at the right time, Derrick Brown got to Matt Stafford and caused him to fumble the ball. And great pickup from DJ Wanham. Panthers have the ball. They're able to hold out, get that first down to Jalen Coker. And all of a sudden, the Carolina Panthers have beaten 2 of the top teams in the NFC. Now the LA Rams, and a few weeks ago, it was the Green Bay Packers. What a win. What a win. What a win.
Chris, as soon as we start to figure out this Panthers team, or at least we think we have them figured out, this happens. That kind of just goes to show you the inconsistency of this team, because we've seen this team on this very field put up 7 points, just 7 against the Saints not that long ago. We saw them struggle last week. Then you see what they put out there today. Getting points off turnovers is something we didn't see against the Rams. I'm sorry, against the 49ers last on Monday. Yes, against the 49ers. My apologies. But then against the Rams, they got the early interception, like you mentioned, from Nick Scott. They weren't able to do anything with that drive. It was just a 3-and-out. Like, you want to see him at least sustain something. But then Mike Jackson comes and actually gets his first pick 6 of his career, and takes it all the way back and finally gives the Panthers the lead. And this is also something as well, is that for the most of this game, this Panthers team was playing with a lead.
Yeah.
Or like it was a lead, or it was at least within one possession if they did trail the game. But they played with the lead a lot in the game, which allowed Dave Canales to do something we have been preaching all season long. You got 2 good running backs. By God, use them both. And I said this during the game. I texted you to it, and I tweeted it out. I said, Chuba Hubbard looks like 2024 Chuba Hubbard. And that's exactly what he looked like today. It's exactly what he looked like.
It was cool, like, just watching from home. Didn't have the energy to make it out today to go down there with you, but watching from home and seeing the two running backs go back and forth.
Yeah.
17 carries for Chuba Hubbard, 18 carries for Rico Dowdle. I think this is, in a perfect world, this is exactly what you wanted.
Yeah,
between
absolutely.
the two guys,
absolutely
35. It was balanced. It was even. But today was Chuba's day, getting 83 yards, 4.9 per carry. It was a little bit of a down day for Rico Dowdle, but it looks like he's dealing with injuries. And, like a few weeks ago, we could tell that Chuba Hubbard's still kind of hurting from his calf. He was dealing with injuries back then. Now he's fully healthy, and you can see. I mean, those are some punishing runs. And even though the Rams ran it very well on their side with Blake Corum and Kyron Williams as well, they looked amazing. But these runs were just so punishing and physical, and you could tell that the Rams defense started to wear down just a little bit towards the end, which was big for the Carolina Panthers. I also said to you as well, I texted you during the game that win or lose, I think this was right as the game was going to the fourth quarter. Win or lose, this is the blueprint.
Yeah.
This is what it should look like for the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young and Dave Canales didn't try to do too much in the passing game. They did just enough.
Yeah.
Until you can kind of, get that passing game better. This is what the game should look like right here. 35 rushes between your two running backs. And here's the cool thing I thought was really a really well done play as well, moving the sticks. I want to say this was first quarter when Bryce goes for the toss and reverses and goes the other way, and the Rams did not see it coming at all. Nobody on that side, and he picks up, I think, 26 yards.
It was
at 24, that point.
24 yards.
It was the balance and the play calling, keeping the Rams defense a little off balance as well, not knowing what's really coming. And then when it was run, and it was obvious it was run, the runs were hard. They were punishing. They were violent. And Bryce Young going 15 for 20.
Yeah.
What, 75% completion
man.
percentage? That's amazing. 147.1 passer rating.
Yeah.
Like,
he was good.
This is it. This is the blueprint. This is literally all we've been asking for.
Yeah. This is the model, like you said. This is the model about how they have to win. And then you mentioned that Bryce Young, the fake toss where he rolled out. I think it was actually designed like play action. He just decided, hey, tuck and run. I got green grass in front of me. So that was when they were doing 3 tight ends, 1 receiver, so 13 personnel, 1 back, 3 tight ends. And it was Bryson Tremaine was the wide receiver. And they ran the ball 3 or 4 straight times before that play that you mentioned where Bryce Young just rolled out to his left. So that's Dave Canales setting that play up, looking for play action off it. So using that personnel, which is known for being a run-heavy personnel. So they get Dave Canales, I thought, overall called a really good game, including – he talked about it in the post game, Dave Canales did, about the 4th down calls, where he got the 4th down touchdown down the right sideline, right over here to my right, to Jalen Coker, which we'll hear from him in a bit in the locker room. And then on the far side of the field, where you found Tedero and McMillan, Bryce Young just moving around a little bit, buying a little bit of time, able to find T-Mac, both on 4th down for touchdowns. Like the cojones, Dave Canales. The onions.
The cojones.
I'm like, those 4th down calls, those are the difference in the game. I mean, I generally don't like fade calls on 4th and short. I generally don't. But, man, props to Jalen Coker for winning that one-on-one. And actually, Chris, I talked to him in the locker room about that 4th down. He told me what he saw.
I wanted to just try to get speed on him early, use my bigger build to kind of create some separation and then just make a play when it came to me.
You know the cokeheads are going nuts, right? That's what your fan base is calling them.
No, I know. I hope so. I hope they're
Yeah, Chris, the onions and Dave Canales calling those deep shots on 4th down. And then, but also as well, Bryce making the play. Like, Bryce making the throws. Like, you got to give credit to both. And T-Mac and Jalen Coker for coming down with the catches, man. Like, they made the big plays when they needed to tonight or this afternoon, whatever you want to call it.
Tonight, this afternoon, and one of the things I thought was interesting, I believe, I have to go back and look at it. I believe both of those touchdowns were on Emmanuel Forbes.
They were.
And so,
they 100% were on Emmanuel Forbes.
So, like, they saw something within that in the coverage, and they picked on him. And that's what, when's the last time the Carolina Panthers was like, ha-ha, weak spot, we're going to pick on you and get 2 touchdowns off of it? I mean, it's amazing to really sit back and look at what was. Think about that. That usually happens to the Panthers. It's amazing to sit back and really look at what happened in this game. And this is versus one of the best teams in the league. Like, this is the team that I think probably is going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, they're heavy favorites, as they should be.
And
by
the
way,
Panthers did this.
I think it was that rookie corner for the Falcons where the couple weeks ago. I think it was the last time they were like, that guy. Where I can't remember his name, but he wore number 35 because I just saw the back of his jersey a lot chasing guys for the Falcons, who lost again today. Go figure. But
to the Jets.
Of all
to
teams,
the Jets.
To the Jets. Poor Jets. Thinking back to the last time we had a complete game like this, I don't think we've seen this close to a complete game in the Dave Canales era. No. Because some of the games last year, like we saw, like, for example, the win against the Atlanta Falcons late in the season last year, the very last game of the year, you saw the offense explode, but the defense was still giving up a ton. You saw the win against like, for example, you go on the road to Germany, you play the New York Giants. The defense was actually the one that carried you through most of that game, including Chuba Hubbard. The passing game just wasn't quite there. You had to go win that one in overtime. This is the opportunity, I think, that the Carolina Panthers have been looking for to say, when we put it all together, we can literally beat anybody when we put it all together. And then the vibe in that
anybody
room,
can beat us.
That's also very true. Like, when you don't have it all clicking, anyone can beat you. Now, it's easy to say, well, you can say that about any team in the league. I don't necessarily say that because sometimes a team might, hey, we don't have our run game today, but the team can throw the ball over the field, or vice versa, or the defense can carry and you're good. You can consistently win that way. But to me, this Panthers team going into a bye week where you came off a short week, you're without your top defensive, at least in the secondary, one of your top defensive players in J.C. Horn and Trayvon Merrick because Merrick was suspended, and you get a bye week to rest up. Boy. This team's playing meaningful football going into December. In the year of our Lord, Chris, 2025, entering the month of December, the Carolina Panthers will be playing meaningful football with a winning record.
In this economy? You texted me
that. In this economy?
In this economy? This
like that, who would have thought? Who would have thought, especially at the beginning of the year? Also, as well, Chris, this is also a testament to the team as well. I want your thoughts on this. This team has not lost back-to-back games since week 1 and 2 of the season.
Right.
They've not lost back-to-back games.
They very well could have had that happen again this week.
Oh, easily.
And here's something I wanted to bring up when we talked about the defense. You mentioned the guys that's out, no J.C. Horn, no Trayvon Merrick. Of course, Christian Roseboom not playing. Yeah. You have a lot of replacements and practice squad guys and new guys who are signed off the street and stuff like that, all helping out. In the middle of all that, you remember back at the beginning of the season when I interviewed Mike Jackson, and he said, I've gotten my hands on a lot of balls. I just haven't been able to catch them. And I want to, actually catch them and actually take some to the house.
Yeah.
He got his first pick 6. He could have had maybe a few more picks earlier this year. He probably should have had a few more earlier this year. Got his first pick 6 of his career in a spot where there's no J.C. Horn, in a spot where there's no Trayvon Merrick. And you know that Matthew Stafford, what we just talked about with Emmanuel Forbes, Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay probably came into this game and said, that guy. And they got a couple. I mean, Puka Nacua, listen, that one-handed catch, you can't do anything about that.
That was right there. Yeah.
You can't, Mike Jackson got his hand on it. You can't do anything about that.
That's where you go.
He stepped up in the right moment and was able to score points for the Carolina Panthers, which also meant that he kept points off of the board for the Los Angeles Rams. I want to, for me, I know that there's other guys who had a big time game, but for me, I want to say I'm proud of Mike Jackson.
Yeah.
He's the guy that stands out for me in this game because he had probably the toughest assignment. When you don't have J.C. Horn and you got Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua walking up in here and you did that.
Yep.
Against a quarterback who had taken over 800 attempts without an interception and threw two interceptions.
Had 2 picks all year coming into today.
Had 2 interceptions within 3 plays, and you were one of them, and it was a pick six. Congratulations to those guys. I mean, because that was what a hell of a game, and he hadn't thrown a pick six in 2 years, and that was against the Cowboys and Deron Bland. Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
My final thought on this, again, the resiliency of the defense, again, short week without some of their top guys, but also the drive that the Panthers had at the end of the third quarter going into the fourth quarter. So they used up the last 6 minutes and 58 seconds of the third quarter. Field flips. They're actually going to the far side of the field from where I'm standing right now. The Jadeveon Sanders gets called for a holding penalty.
Fake.
Which was a crap call.
Fake news. Fake news. That was not a hold. That was a great block.
By the way, I went up to Jadeveon Sanders in the locker room. I said, that wasn't a hold. He goes, I'm glad someone noticed. That's what he said to me. So you had the holding call, but then you had a sack right after, and then you also had an incomplete pass, which actually took you out of field goal range. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, that was a missed opportunity for this Panthers team to extend their leagues. They were up 24-21 at the time. I was like, man, at least get a field goal and put the pressure on the Rams to go down and get a touchdown to take a lead as opposed to even just a field goal tying it. Sure enough, the Rams march right down the field. They score a touchdown. Now it's 28-24. But the Panthers didn't let that get them down, and they got right back to it with an offensive drive. And then fourth down, you saw the pass to Tepper and McMillan. The resiliency from the Panthers to not let that drive crush their spirits, to have that long of a drive and walk away with nothing, that shows some resiliency from this team as well, and that's part of the growth. We've mentioned this term growing pains a lot, Chris. Yeah. Last week was some pains. This week was some growth.
I love to see it. 5 games left in the season. They get a chance to rest up. 4 games left in the season. 4 games left in the season. They get a chance to rest up now for a week and come back. You got to beat the Saints at the Saints. You got to get that lick back. You should have beat them at your place.
Have to beat the Saints.
And we're in a completely different situation too.
If you want to win the division, you have to beat the Saints.
You got to beat the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to have the Bucs at home, right? They've only had one 3-game winning streak this entire season. After that, they've been basically trading back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Great opportunity here. Don't want to look too far ahead.
Nope.
But this is literally what you're going to have to do for the division. You're going to have to get the Saints on the road on the 14th. Yep. You're going to have to get the Bucs at home on the 21st.
Have to.
And after that, try to get one of the last 2.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Simple as that, man.
Simple as that.
7-6 heading into the bye week. 7-6, Dennis.
If you would have told me that after they were 1-3 to start the season, I would have been like, nah, you crazy. They were 1-3 to start the season. Now they're 7-6. Hopefully they continue to go in this direction, because we've seen this team do up and down. The inconsistency, we've talked about it a lot. But now let's see them continue to rise. That's what we want to see, continued growth. They might not make it this year, but we want to see them get closer.
Here's one thing that we've noticed with this team this year, right? They may make a mistake. A lot of times they don't make that mistake twice.
Yeah.
They go beat the Packers. They were feeling themselves, didn't have a good week of practice. They came back. They lost to the Saints.
Yeah.
Okay? You got to buy a week so you can get whatever out of your system you want to get out. Go rest, go party, have this win in your system for 3 days. You normally can't do that because you got to move on to the next team. Mm-hmm. But then you got to focus. We have a business trip to go to New Orleans and come back with a win, our 8th win of the season. That is a must-win game for the Carolina Panthers at this point. Do not make the same mistake twice. After beating a top NFC team, do not go and lay an egg versus the Saints once again.
Don't lose to the damn Saints. Don't lose to the damn Saints.
Don't do it. Don't
do it. All right, folks. Again, leave your thoughts in the comments. Shout outs to Wake Orthopedics, the sponsor here at Panthers Playbook. How you feeling after this win? You should be feeling good. Feeling all right.
I'm feeling great.
Feeling good?
I'm feeling
playoffs?
Wonderful.
They making the playoffs? Tell us.
Playoffs?
Dang, playoffs.
Playoffs? Good.
Chris.
Let's get to the playoffs.
I'm going to put the spotlight on you. You're the man.